Getting nice up close and personal with the crowd here. And once again down to the end of the runway to make the most of what we can. So, the P-40, commonly known as the Warhawk, or the Sky Shark in some cases. Actually, apologies. The P-40 first saw its combat with the British Commonwealth squadrons in the Desert Air Force, in the Middle East and the North African campaigns during June 1941. The primary users of the aircraft were the United States Army Air Forces, but it started, as I said, in the Royal Air Force, and was also in the Royal Australian and Royal Canadian Air Force. But it wasn't all good news for the P-40. The lack of a two-speed supercharger made it inferior to the German Luftwaffe fighters, such as the Bf-109 and the Focke-Wulf 190 in high-altitude combat, and it was rarely used in operations in Northwest Europe. However, between 1941 and 44, the P-40 played a critical role with Allied air forces in three major theatres: North Africa, the Southwest Pacific, and in China. The P-40's performance at high altitudes wasn't as important in those theatres, which is why it served there. It served as an air superior fighter and a bomber escort, as well as a fighter bomber. This aircraft has the V12 liquid-cooled engine from Allison, with only 1,200 horsepower compared to the nearly 1,500 in the Spitfire. It's heavier, it's bigger, and it's a less powerful aircraft, which actually means it definitely has a lower top speed, with only 300 miles per hour, which is only 100 more than my car. As mentioned, the two-speed supercharger made it harder to fly in high altitudes. The service ceiling of the P-40 was only 29,000 feet. Compare that to the Spitfire we have just seen previously, which had a service ceiling of nearly 37,000 feet. Meaning the Spitfire could get up there and dogfight with the other fighters from the Luftwaffe, but this aircraft just could not get up to the same place. Though the P-40 was not actually a favourite with the pilots. It was big and clunky, it wasn't very fast, it wasn't actually very manoeuvrable, and it was quite underpowered. However, when the aircraft was flown by some people, it took their minds and it stole their hearts with the beautiful looks of that big air intake on the front, as well as the guns shooting straight through the middle of the propeller, such as the aircraft did in World War I. A timing system is rigged up to the propeller timing, meaning the bullets fly straight through in between the blades. This was learnt the hard way during World War I, when they didn't time the gun to the propeller, and it didn't last long. They ended up shooting their own propellers off. And there he is giving a big wave with those big wings. A very angry looking face, everyone give him a wave. The nose art on some of these aircraft, such as this one with the shark's mouth, was used as a bit of an intimidation tactic for most of the part. It was so that when the enemy fighters came up alongside you and saw that, they would basically just run away because they were too scared. Did it work? I'm not entirely sure. Though the German Army and Air Force were quite high on many experimentary drugs, I don't think they thought the shark was actually flying. Forming a dirty pass there. Doing a pass with the undercarriage and the flaps down in the landing configuration. Apologies for the crash on the airfield. We shall get the marshals to go and clear up some of the debris. I forgot to load crash music. I had faith in everybody. So, do 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 do. Okay, so on to the next performance today.